commence with the activities of the day. May we please introduce the person who is going to be doing the opening prayer for today. And I know that for the curious people, of course, you want to know who I am. My name is Comrade Sammy David, and I'm the National Public Secretary of APC South Africa chapter. I will be in charge of the programs for today. And at this juncture, may I request the pleasure of Pastor Gladys Adunola to kindly come forward.
Thank you for this evening. We bless your name for the victory. We thank you for keeping us alive to witness this wonderful occasion. Lord, receive our thanks and praises in Jesus' name. We commit the program of today into your hand. Holy Spirit, take over. Just grant everything that we're going to do today in the name of Jesus. Let everything be directed by you, and let us have cause to give praise to your holy name at the end of the day. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Lord Almighty grants the prayers. And quickly we're going to be proceeding to the national anthem. And I have the pleasure to invite Chief Peju Fagbemi, who is the treasurer of APC South Africa, to conduct that round. Please put your hands together for him.
APC, next level. Please, can we rise for the national anthem, please? We are going to read the two stanzas of the national anthem. So,
Nigeria's call obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with love and might, one nation bounding, freedom, peace and unity. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, ever you the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just as true. Great love the heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. APC.
Event to us, because this is one of the things that we have clamored for. We have clamored for change, and we got the change. After we got the change, we sought for consolidation. And in the process of consolidation, we sought to move the nation to the next level. And by the special grace of Almighty God, we got the victory to move our great nation Nigeria to the next level. The masses of Nigeria decided that we are going to return a corrupt-free leader to take the affairs of Nigeria for the next 4 years. As you all know, that one of the things that has become embedded in the fabrics of our society is corruption. We see it all over Africa, we see it even in the Western world, who have become hive of stolen money. But the one thing that the masses of Nigerians have stood for is that we know what we want, and we have decided so, and we have moved in that direction. Today, we are here gathered celebrating the victory of the All Progressives Congress, APC, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. It is not a sheer coincidence that we have a man in the helm of affairs today who championed the war against indiscipline and corruption under the military junta. But because we have the majority that are in love with a corrupt-free society and the nation that will want to advance its growth infrastructurally and in terms of policies, we have decided to return him under the democracy and for the second term. Please, let's put our hands together for great people like you and I who have made the choice. I will want to say that this victory would not be possible without the campaign of one man tell another. The word of mouth, the social media campaign, the impact of diaspora cannot be overemphasized. And to that extent, we are gathered here celebrating. We can only hope that one day we will have the right to vote in diaspora. A lot of us here gathered here flew home for the election. Some of them went to acquire the voters' card. It is such an expensive exercise, but because we believe in the dream that Nigeria shall be great again, we have made such a huge sacrifice. Today, I want to say that there are people who have been championing the cause of diaspora, who have lent their voice to the change at home. And without them, we will not be recognized today. We are grateful to the national body who has deemed it fit to recognize South Africa as one of its most vibrant chapters. Please, can you put your hands together for South Africa? I will want to quickly ask that the chairman will rise for recognition. Is in no other person than Honorable Engineer Bola Babalibi, Chairman APC South Africa. Please, quickly, I will also want to recognize here present Chief Peju Fagbemi, the Odofin, who is the treasurer of the APC South Africa. Please rise up for recognition, please. The way you are clapping, I'm sure that if you understand the importance of the position that he occupies, without him we will not be gathered here today. Please put your hands together for him. He controls the Reserve Bank of APC South Africa chapter. I will also want to recognize, not in order of hierarchy, but I'm one person who is gender sensitive. And please permit me to break the protocol. To quickly recognize our amiable, dynamic women leader, Mrs. Adunola.
APC.
And our women leader is not just a women leader, but someone who is also occupying a very vital position in the esoteric realm. You probably want to start probing that. What do you mean by that? She is a pastor by designation, Pastor Gladys. Put your hands together once again. I will also want to recognize, if he's here, Professor Fashina, who is the Secretary of APC South Africa. He's not here yet. Please put your hands together for him. And of course, my honorable self standing here. I like to refer to myself as a comrade because I stand for the masses and I'm a crusader for social justice. My name is Comrade Sani David. I'm the National Police Secretary of this organization. If you don't put those hands together well, I'm going to close this event. Thank you very much for that awesome clap. I'm going to be continuing with the introduction bit by bit. But permit me to quickly go to the next item on the agenda. And I would like to call forward the engine room of this organization, the man who has stood the thick and thin in spite of the crankom. He has surmounted so many obstacles. And I want to say that without him, we will not be able to move this party to this level that we are today. He has continually pushed and he has continually sustained the momentum. And today, we are gathered here because we have a man who has a great vision, and God has provided him with the men of similar vision to move the affairs of this great party forward. Please welcome to the podium Honorable Engineer Bola.
First Gala dinner of any political organization established by Nigerian community. This first Gala dinner, and I believe it's I'm not really used to reading from the paper, but for us not to miss some good points, I will read direct from the paper. I like to do freelance reading, but I'm forced to do this tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, welcome you all to this first Gala dinner ever organized successfully by a Nigerian political party in South Africa. APC South Africa, elated and proud of the quality of attendance. You can see that we already envisage we will have quality people tonight, because this one is written, already typed before the gathering. APC South Africa was approved to be established in April 2016, with mandate dated April 2016 and duly signed by our then party chairman, Chief Ojige Oyemu, was addressed to me, which gave me the honor of becoming the first chairman of the great party currently preferred party in Nigeria since 2015. I don't want to bore you with speech that may not whet your appetite. Let me make some points that may be of interest to many of our members and honorable guests here this evening. Why do we need a diaspora chapter of a party outside shore of Nigeria when Nigeria is not inside South Africa? Number one is for political awareness, it is important. We are here, but we know our home is Nigeria. We need to be aware of what is going on in Nigeria. Opportunity to contribute our quota for excellent, not good governance, excellent governance. Opportunity to influence which individual or party rule our dear country. Networking among us and other nationals for business, recreational, and humanity. Those are the few things that made us to establish the diaspora chapter of our party here. Our achievements so far since 2016. You cannot believe that we started party politicking since 2008. We started with, progressive. We started with Action Congress, from Action Congress to Action Congress of Nigeria. That was transformation. And now we're in APC, which is a new political structure. All the same, we are still progressive. And since those years, we've not had bank accounts. Our executive will just collect money and tell us this one was there. Sometimes we say we convert to dollar back to rand back to, so the thing will diminish. Now, there was no accountability. And we felt as a team that for sustenance, we need to have bank account and accountability. Bank account was open for financial transparency, first of its kind since party politicking in SA by Nigerians. The second one was the APC website was you see, all these things may look simple, but to us, it's big achievement because the previous organization never deemed me fit to do those things. We established our website, which is very, very interactive, and we've had so many various empowerment workshops for members to uplift them financially. Our next project. Now, many people, when you market our organization, they will tell you, what is the need for me? You want me to come and waste my time and throw shares and all this stuff. Unfortunately for us, we have not witnessed any fracas during our meetings, during any event that we do. It will be peaceful. But for us to have more members, we need to do something that will affect their life, something that will be interesting to them. So our next projects as follows. Establishment of cooperative bank that will eventually form the bedrock of diaspora community bank for Nigerians and non-Nigerians. It's going to be Diaspora Bank in South Africa. We've started it and we are going to achieve it. Education and foundation to be established for benefit of less privileged among us and our host nation. Enlightenment of better interaction among us and our brothers and sisters from South Africa and Africa at large living with us in South Africa. Also to encourage intermarriages. We want to make sure that we marry each other seriously. Intermarriages to diffuse discrimination among us. I hope my South African brothers will not misunderstand me, because rather believe that we have research institute to take all the beautiful South African women. We have enough of them there. There's rewards in sharing. You are free to go to Nigeria and do the same. All this is on lighter mood. On why some chieftains hardly promised to be here. We apologize that our party chairman could not come because of some reasons that emanated after the xenophobic and after the election in Nigeria, because we planned this thing a long time and he promised to come. Comrade Adam Oshomele, that's our party chairman in Nigeria, and others unable to grace this occasion because now politics and lobbying for House of Leadership in Nigeria. Let me explain that. I don't need to read it verbatim. Now in Nigeria, after the election, we need to elect the head of the National Assembly, the lower and the upper level houses. In South Africa, they call it Parliament. And now there's Tozu, especially at the Senate, the upper house, who is going to be the Senate president. So, and what happened at the last dispensation was unfortunate because the other man, Saraki, lobbied the opposition to become the president of the Senate. So actually, there was two governments in Nigeria at that time because he was doing his own government at the house while the presidency had been there. The man we signed to law or we approved the budget in the middle of the year, May and June. What do you want to do for 6 months? So he frustrated the government. That was why he couldn't do enough. But this time around, the president made a mistake initially. When he first came, he knew little about politics. He said, I'm for everyone and I'm for no one. But when he got there, he realized that it must be for everyone. The statement of for no one doesn't come into it. So he really suffered. So he doesn't want it to happen. So all the strategies that he has within him, he wants them to be around always, so that they're not going to snatch that leadership of the National Assembly from him. So that's one of those things that made our chairman not to be available. And also, on the political side of it, the xenophobic things, it's really making waves, making news in Nigeria. And they are thinking that if such a person of at that level in our party politics in Nigeria come at this time, it's as if they are sanctioning the current government on what they are doing. So they rather relax a bit on sending delegation to, because definitely this news will come out. If it comes, they will interview him. SABC is here, they will interview him, and so many things can crop up from that. So those are the things that they did not that we use Oshiomhole to bring people. It's real. We are genuine people. We don't deceive. That's the bottom line. Introduction of executive, which my able public secretary already done, but I've just mentioned Professor Fashino avoidably absent because he worked with UN, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. He's a top guy there. So he was here yesterday for the graduation of his wife, and he was supposed to be here and go tomorrow, but he sent him an email that he must be in Tanzania this evening. So there's no way he'll be here. That's our secretary. Chief Adebeju Fadbemi is our treasurer. Babatunde Adbeniga, our chief whip, the disciplinarian, is the one that disciplines us. Honorable Kenjide, financial secretary. Tai Saladin is organized secretary, but is more than organized secretary. He does most of the design for us. He established our website and so many things. Olusojiba Njoko, Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Yemi Onikosi, Barrister Dapo Adepoju is our legal. We must have legal person around for case of eventuality. Honorable Damola Ore. Let me tell you something about this man called Honorable Damola Ore, because I always, police secretary said I'm the engine room, this and that, which I appreciate a lot. But I want to appreciate this man for one thing that he did for me and for the organization. Because when the vision came that let us establish APC, when the vision came, he was the first person that I went to that come. ACN is not doing any meetings again because everybody is in disarray after the merger. That can we start doing meetings? He said, I'm game. You are ready, I'm ready. I went to another person, I don't want to mention. The person said that come, you want to establish what of the other one? I said, which other one? He said he's not interested. Or I give my blessing. Go ahead. The third person, I don't want to mention him. He told me that in spirit he's going to be with us, but doesn't want to show because his godfather in politics already defected to Labour and is still in Labour. He said wherever he goes, if you want to go to Democrats in America, he's going to follow him. He doesn't want to do anything against his will. With that, out of 3 people, I only got 2 people. I mean, only one person. The other 2, but he keep on encouraging me that come. You used to be 1, but we are now 2. Let us try again. But fortunately, after the 3rd person rejected the idea of forming APC, every other person that we spoke to joined us. No disappointment anymore. But if not because of him accepting for the first, if he never accepted, and the second person never accepted, and the 3rd person believing me, I may just feel that okay, let's forget it. But because he was with me, and since then, everybody that came on the way, they always been a good thing for us. Please let me give you a round of applause. We are all great members, even if I did not mention all the members. I mentioned some names. Members, please forgive me, and you know that there's no way more than 200, 300 people I cannot mention name after the other. And don't be deceived by the number of people that are here, that we are so few. It is a gala dinner that we have to pay for, including the members. And a lot of people believe when you are doing party politics, especially in Nigeria, everything should be free. So after the gala dinner, with the little money we raise here, and contribution from the well-meaning friends and we are going to do an open party for members, which we are not going to do here. So our real members that are Luther members, they are not really here tonight. And any of you that when we want to do that, are not afraid, because I have a lot of my doctor friends here that they don't want to go to such an area, but some of them will go. And also, let me give a big thanks to Dr. Shina Okolomo. You're right. Shina Okolomo is a doctor and a shy person. He doesn't want to go out and all this. And I told him that, come, I want to do an event, and I look around, I don't see any other person that can do this. He said, why me? He said, do you think it's possible? I said, it's possible, you just have to do it. That's what we agreed on. Eventually accepted. I want him to talk to all his doctor's friends so that they can bring him good money. That was the trick, And he accepted it, and by his grace, everything is going well, and I believe it's going to go well. Please feel free to interact, and at the interlude, make new friends. Thank you.
I want to thank Chairman for that beautiful speech. We know what it is from moving from a script to speaking extemporary. I want to quickly, at this junction, also call on the man who has organized this event, who has made it a success, the chairman of this event committee, Dr. Okalomo, to please come forward and words of advice.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this particular occasion, which I thought is actually very, very important. Considering the history of our country, is very, very important for the future of APC, because we have a country which is riddled with corruption. Most importantly, the people to thank are everybody who come together to make this event to take place tonight, to make it a big success. I thank everyone, particularly Engineer Bola Babaride. Now, the reality of our country is that even though all of us believe Nigeria is a great nation, we are not yet there, but the important thing is that we have potential to be a great nation. We've got the mineral resources, we have human resources. But the major problem which we face as a nation has even been overemphasized already. The issue is corruption. Like somebody once said, we can only get better, we can only be a great nation when we make corruption as a sin against humanity, or a crime against humanity, to put it much better. But how do we get here? We're on the right track already. We've got great people, a great president. We have a good track record of war against corruption, indiscipline. We will be very happy for that. But going forward, what is going to happen in 2023? Where are we going to be? That's my major concern. But life is like that. We'll move on. There are many great people in our country. But unfortunately, like somebody said, people with the idea might not get there. Those who don't have the idea, they'll have the opportunity. But if we think wisely, and all of us come together, I'm sure we're able to achieve something for 2023. 2023 is very important. It's just like tomorrow. Now, mission for 2023. That's what we should be discussing going forward. Thank you all. God bless.
For the starter, what we're going to do is we're going to start from that table at the back. Then, yeah, she's going to lead everybody there. Then we'll come to this table. We'll go to the middle, then to the front, and the last table. That's how we're going to have it. And my darling sister here will coordinate. Thank you.
And we'll give direction and guidance to the party. So at this point in time, the chairman will be handing over the certificates of investiture and of course the symbol of the APC, which is the broom. I'm not sure, some of you might be wondering, what about this broom? That symbolically, if you look at the broom, is that when you have the broom together, it is difficult for you to break them. Literally, it means that there is strength in unity. And when we are together, it is difficult for us to fall because we have that stability. And if you also know what the broom is used for, it is also used to sweep away rubbish. And that is what it stands for, and that is what APC has been doing. We have proven in the past 4 years that unity is very core to us. And with the fight against corruption, we can also testify that the rating of Nigeria in terms of the corruption index has also improved because the APC government has also been able to tighten all the loose ends. With the Treasury single account, a lot of loopholes have been blocked. So, and today we are going to be inaugurating the Council of Elders, handing over the broom to them to also sweep away those rubbish around them. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Nice. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, tonight we have Afolabi Bakari.
APC, next level. APC, next level. APC.
Next on my list is Honorable Damola Brad Ore. Please come forward. He was born in Lagos State, Nigeria. He's a native of Ogun State in Nigeria, a pioneer member of APC South Africa. He's by profession a management accounting consultant. Please put your hands together.
APC,
Next level.
APC, next level. APC, next level. Next level. APC.
Next is Honorable Akweyemi Adebayo Akintomide. APC,
Next level.
next level.
APC.
Honorable Akintomide Akweyemi Adebayo hails from Ileluji in Ondo State. He studied mass communication, married with family. He is a director at Upson Consultants. He works and lives in Pretoria, and he's a very dedicated and committed member of APC. Please put your hands together.
APC, next level. Next level. APC.
Next on the list is Dr. Olaolu Onabanjo Ogunso. Unfortunately, I understand that he is on call tonight. So, Olufemi Oluyeju, please put your hands together for him. May I use my discretion to also invite Mrs. Oluyeju. Please come forward this time. APC. Dr. Olufemi Oluyeju was called and admitted to the Nigerian bar in 1990 and holds multiple master's degrees and a doctorate degree in law from the prestigious University of Pretoria. He is naturally an intellectual troubleshooter and highly research biased with a very strong passion for pedagogy. His areas of research interest include public international law, international trade law, international investment law, project finance law, and sovereign debt. Affiliated to University of Pretoria, he once held the position of an academic director of the signature and cutting-edge LLM International Trade and Investment Law in Africa program at the Center for Human Rights, Faculty of Law, University of Pretoria, South Africa. He is also a seasoned educator and trainer. He supervises doctoral candidates and from time to time serves as an external examiner of doctoral thesis. He is very innovative, passionate, and a team player who adds value and a profound game changer. He is well published in scientific journals with focus on trade, investment, and finance. Please put your hands together for Dr.
APC, next level. APC, next level. Next level. APC.
Please, may I use this opportunity to invite forward for this investiture an astute businessman, Honorable James Barry Odiaka. Please put your hands together for him. Honorable James Barry Odiaka, born in Delta State, a graduate of Business Administration from Delta State University, Delta State, Abraka, worked with Remix Real Estate Brokerage in Canada. He is a member of the prestigious Ontario Real Estate Association Canada, OREA. He is an international property developer in South Africa, Nigeria, and bordering Canada. Please put your hands together for him.
APC,
Next level.
APC, next level. Next level. APC.
Crave the indulgence of Dr. Shegun Adeyemi Adeyafa to please come forward. Please put your hands together for him. Dr. Shegun Adeyemi Adeyafa is a mathematician cum statistician, skillful in research and computing. He holds a BSc in Education and Mathematics, which he bagged in 1985. He also has an MSc in Mathematics with specialization in computing and stochastic processes in 1991. He also has a PhD in Operations Research, which he also bagged in the year 2011, whereby he combined skills in mathematical modeling, stochastic processes, probability theory and statistics, optimization, multi-objective programming, computing and application programming in developing solutions to 9 mathematical programming decisions in his doctoral thesis. He has been a lecturer of international repute with over 2 decades experience, whereby he teaches quantitative techniques and operations research techniques to undergraduate, postgraduate and managerial statistics to MBA students. With this experience, he can create theoretical models to articulate statistical features in products and simulation to assess accuracy of work. He is a researcher proficient in research methodology, survey, and data analysis of both qualitative and quantitative using scientific tools. He has supervised many students' research projects and has also been involved in many surveys in South Africa, including the survey on food insecurity among the urban poor in the city of Tshwane, the survival of foreign-owned SMMEs in the city of Johannesburg, the survival of catering, hotel, and other trade sector of SMMEs in the city of Tshwane, to mention but a few. In addition, he has industry experience in the banking, manufacturing, and consultancy sectors as an ICT specialist. He currently works for the Department of Mathematical Sciences in UNISA. He is the CEO of JKKB Mathematics Research Institute, where the solution to the teaching and learning of mathematics are being sought. Please put your hands together for the Can we put our hands once again for the great Angola making us proud here in South Africa? APC!
Thank you very much, Program Director. The next thing on the agenda now is the presentation of a certificate of office to all our executives. And we have done it a long time ago, and it was April 2000. Actually, this is certificate of excellence, okay? Okay, this is, sorry about that. The certificate of excellence, we are here also to recognize our members that have been together with us through thick and thin. And it's a token of our appreciation to them and to give them more strength to do more for the organization. May I call on Dr. Okalomo to come and present this certificate to the individuals that I'm going to call now. This award is in recognition of outstanding performance. He's been a great guy in our publicity. The next person in the hierarchy and the father of the house, Honorable Damola Ore.
APC. Next level. APC.
Another icon in our organization is our organizing secretary, but he's been doing more than that. He's in charge of the website, in charge of social media. It's been wonderful. He's in charge of creating something that is out of ordinary. His name is Saladin Tai. In recognition of outstanding performance, present to our treasurer is the man with the deep pocket. He's the one that always makes sure that out of nowhere the money will come to our pocket. His name is Chief Odofin of Oyo Empire, Honorable Fadi Omishinari. Chief Nicholas Elhott is my business partner. We've been to Nigeria more than 15 times together. May I call on him to come and present the next candidate. The person to get the award of recognition is Professor Oludayo Fashino. Unavoidably absent, but it's better have his here to accept it on his behalf. For the award is Honorable Gala. Why are you wearing the same color of dress? May I call on Honorable Olusoji Banjoko for the award of recognition for being performing outstandingly. The next person for recognition of outstanding performance present to Ojogbon David Olikosi. Many people call him my personal assistant. Recognition of outstanding performance present to Honorable Akintunde Akijide, is our financial secretary. This guy is not around. This guy is not around. He's a troublesome guy. Legal. Barrister Depot. I want to keep this one for okay. And the next one, yeah, that's good. We get somebody from Cape Town, they can come. Yeah. The disputarian, the one that controls the meetings, the one that if you make noise, well, you can make noise, but no other person can make noise. In recognition of outstanding performance, we sent to Honorable Babatunde Abilika. Dr. Abilika, PhD.
FPC.
Next level.
FPC.
Next level.
FPC.
Next level.
Next level.
FPC. You know, this is the last one, and it is for our mother in the house, the woman leader, Mrs. Pastor Adwola Gladys.
Permit me to deliver this short speech on behalf of the women of South Africa APC. My name is Adunola Gladys Adebukola. We must reserve all glory to God for the struggle and the victory in the just concluded national election in our great nation. We must also commend the efforts of the party leaders across the nation, especially Mr. President, whose age was mistaken for weakness, without taking cognizance of the fact that old soldiers might be quiet, but they put up a fight where it is needed, and they win where winning is desired. The highly cerebral Vice President, who through the application of great intelligence, diplomacy, and wisdom touched every nook and crannies of the nation, including the neglected masses. Our indefatigable party chairman, whose proactiveness and assertiveness made huge difference. All party leaders, including the diaspora chapters, and the members of our great party. I say congratulations to everyone. While we are magnanimous in victory, it is important to see this reclaiming mandate as an inspiration and motivation to compensate the trust Nigeria has shown in our manifestos and direction by standing by the party's ideology and working assiduously to fulfill the plans made during the different phases of the electoral process. We must retrace our steps and assess our performance in the last 4 years to improve on areas where improvement is needed and mend our overhaul policies and mistakes that might have cost us in one way or the other, like that of Oyo State. It is time we intensify our efforts in enriching the life of the poor, of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. We must learn from nations that have successfully brought millions of people out of poverty in a short period of time. But in doing so, we must be careful not to widen the gap between the rich and the poor. We must always remember that no nation has prospered with a city of poor citizens, an island of wealthy few. We must also encourage the enactment of policies that will strengthen institutions to fight corruption better than we have currently done, and work harder to retrieve the inestimable amount of money our nation has lost to the backyard of corrupt politicians and their associates. We must be disciplined enough to ensure our charity of accountability begins at home. We must always strive hard to do better in facing the insurgencies and different humanitarian crises that have pitched their tents in our nation. In conclusion, I would like to appreciate our chairman once again for honoring our invitation. Sorry, I wrote it before I got the information that I won't be here. I thought we'll be here. So this has been written before he came. But in absentia, we want to honor him. He could not attend he could not honor our invitation. I think I should stop here because the rest of the address was meant for him. So once again, I want to say congratulations to APC South Africa. I want to say congratulations to APC women of South Africa. God bless Nigeria. God bless
They will say, no women, no miliki. So in the struggle, emotional balance is very important. And where I see women dominating, it gives me special joy. I am proud of women and we must continue to celebrate them. APC, just before we go to the raffle draw, I want to use this opportunity to also introduce one of our beloved here who has been doing great work. She has published a book called Telling Your Child About Sex. I think often at times, we shy away from some of these topics as Africans. But I think in this age and time, it is very paramount and it becomes pertinent, not just pertinent but imperative, that we begin to educate our children about all of this. We live in a society where we have a lot of violation, we have child abuse, we have sexual abuse, but we think that with the right in the right environment, with the right information, we will be able to educate our children and guide them in the right direction without being taken advantage of. So at this point in time, I just want to give 1 minute to Omotayo Daranijo to tell us about it.
I would like to say thank you to the chairman, APC in South Africa, for the opportunity for me. And I'm so happy, and you won't know. And I wrote this book, and I think about 3 years plus. And it came from my own experience while I was growing up. You know, our parents never did a lot of things. They never tell us about some truth, you know, about sex, you know, when you're growing up. You know, in our society in Nigeria, they tell you that, oh, you should not, you should not, no, you know, it's a taboo because it will never be discussed anyway. And you know, so you need to like struggle, and they tell you, oh, you don't have like a boy, a girl thing. Especially they say don't touch a boy, or a boy should don't allow a boy to touch you. So, and that is the only, you know, information we were given, you know. So, and you know, it's go further because you now begin to like, oh, a guy should not touch me, but a guy can touch you. Why? Okay, a guy can tell you to come in, and he could touch you. What part of your body? They never told you. They never told us. And also from my information, I realized that we are always looking at the female aspect, but the female aspect. A man of 60-something bought the book. He saw it while I in Nigeria, and he said, "Oh, Tai, you know what? You actually made me cry because my son came to me, and he was experiencing the stage of puberty, and when he came to me, that daddy, he began to see signs of, you know, from his private part, and he said, go away, go and meet your mom." And he was actually weeping. It's an experience that I had, and I just got to South Africa about 6 months ago, and I can tell you, oh my God, what I'm seeing. I don't know if we have female South African here. It is an opportunity for you because the environment here is wonderful. I won't say more than that. And the kind of exposure the children have now, you know, the internet, the TV, what they see, it's all over. But you can be determined as a parent or a mother, a father. A father should be a friend. A father should be a father to a daughter. You can tell your daughter, you can buy your daughter sanitary towels. Tell her the truth. Let her know the truth. Don't shy away from the truth. When your daughter comes to meet you, oh, hey, they are kissing on the TV. Tell her the truth. Yes, you will do it, but not now. Tell your children the truth, and they shall be free. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful exposition. I think I was feeling goose pimples all around me, and you wouldn't understand when issues like this have been discussed. Like, we shy away from it, and even as parents, when we stumble into a channel, and the next thing is like, you know, you turn it away, and when you don't have parental code, you know. But the thing is that it's something that our children are definitely going to come across. How do we handle it? I come from a family of 6, with 5 boys and a girl, and I'm number 5 in the family. I know what it was growing in an environment of a father who was once a teacher and retired as the president of a customary court. It was such a difficult task. Even male friends visiting was a problem. And we will not delve into the nitty-gritty and into the mistakes of life. like she said, that all I will say is that the experience was wonderful. Permit me to say that this will be a token to go away with today as a remembrance in this gathering. How much is this, please?
Well, my book it has been on Amazon since 3 years ago, and in Nigeria, I've tried to talk mostly on it. And what I did when I was in Nigeria mostly was the money I recovered from this, I tried to help people. That was what I was doing in Nigeria, you know. Even at that time, I struggled to be able to print this, you know, and other people helped me. So I am saying, whatever you feel you can support me with, do. And God bless you.
I think, don't go away yet, please. I'm just going to, I think it's worth commending. I know we are not prepared.
Next level!
ABC!
Thank you so much, Mr. Program Director. Good evening to all of you. My name is John van Rooyen, and I'm one of the leaders of the Khoi San, but we call it the San or the Bushman and the Khoi. It's not supposed to be Khoi and San, it's supposed to be San and Khoi or Bushman and Khoi. And you know what that means? It means that I am the real soil of the land, the son of the soil. The San and the Khoi people, as I stand here, the DNA, my DNA, goes back to 150,000 to 250,000 years. And if you want proof of that, I can give it to you. I'll give it to your chairperson. And so it means the San and the Khoi people are not just the first peoples of South Africa, but even in terms of humanity, we're part of the first Homo sapiens sapiens. And that's what the situation is. But I'm not here to talk about that for now. I've spoken to Chief, and I said that we need to collaborate and we need to work together, you know, with the Nigerian peoples. Peoples mean first, you know, indigenous in that particular area. So they're not people. There's a difference between people and peoples, you know. And even the African Union, the United Nations, has accepted it. For many years, they've argued about it, and they've argued about whether it's people or peoples, you know. So we are peoples. Yourselves as well. You are peoples. You know, we're not people. You know? So you're part of the indigenous peoples of the world and the indigenous peoples of this continent, etc. I just want to, there's a few issues. I think it is quite comforting for me, as I said, as a son of the soil. Because if you go back and you look at what the San or the Bushmen and the Khoi people did, they have done this forever. And they've opened their arms wide and they've welcomed everybody into South Africa. If you go back and you look at the first white settlers that set foot in South Africa in 1488 was Bartholomew Diaz, and he came here and we opened our arms. In fact, he experienced shipwreck, and our people went and our people helped those Portuguese people. We gave them indigenous herbs, we fixed them. Diaz came by and he ran away and he wanted to steal some of our girls, some of our young women, some of our sheep, our cattle, and we chased him away. He ran away. The rest, we opened our arms for the Dutch to come here, we opened our arms for the English to come here, we opened our arms wide for our brothers from Central Africa, the Bantu-speaking people in South Africa at this point in time, who are the ruling party and the majority in the country. We opened our arms for them. And so therefore, if we have to go back and we have to restore the first indigenous peoples of South Africa and their legacy and their beliefs and their systems, then it means we are supposed to do this with you as well. And I'm so happy that you guys are here. You know, it is not easy. It is not easy to leave your place of birth and move away with your family or even alone, not knowing what is going on with your family that you left behind. So what is happening is that the day you took the decision, the conscious decision, to leave your place of birth and leave your family behind, it was a traumatic experience and a traumatic decision that you have taken. And you did that. And now you come to a place like this in South Africa, this current South Africa, and then we discriminate against you, and then we chase you away, and then we attack you, and you know, and so it's wrong. It is wrong for us to do that. It is wrong for that to happen. First of all, we are human beings, and as human beings, we don't treat each other like dirt. There's a worse word, you know, and I'll use it, like shit, you know. And so therefore, what we need to do is we need to respect each other. We need to respect one another. First, as human beings. And then we can look at Nigerians and Bushmen and Khoisan and Bantu and Nguni and whatever things. But first, there's a human element. And we need to preserve that and we need to uphold that. And so therefore, what we are saying is that I think xenophobic attacks are sometimes a little bit misunderstood. And I know it is real. And you will say to me, you don't experience that. And that's why you are saying that. But I think in a context, in a South African context, it's a little bit misunderstood. It's not really what is meant to happen. What is going on, and we need to acknowledge that. That amongst my people, there are good and bad people. Amongst your people, there are good and bad people. And the issue becomes, how do we distinguish between that? How do we distinguish between the good and the bad? It is wrong for us to say that everyone is good, and it's also wrong for us to say everyone is bad. And so, how do we get that balance? How do we create that balance? And this gathering here tonight, this celebration, for me is important, is critical and is crucial. Because we need to find one another. We don't have a choice in this matter. But we need to work together. We need to collaborate. We need to exchange ideas. You're sitting here with a mathematician. Yeah, he's a doctor, he's writing books. We have a problem in South African schools. Our kids cannot do numeracy. They cannot even pass, they can't even go to university. You guys are beating our guys in our universities. It doesn't matter whether it is Nigerians or Zimbabweans or Congolese, whatever, you're beating our guys. And why? Why is that the case? And therefore, we don't have a choice but to work together. We need to work together so that you guys can come and help our kids, help our teachers, retrain our teachers, upskill our teachers, our mathematics teachers, so that we are ready for the fourth industrial revolution. And not just as participants, but as people that will pave the way for our kids to come jointly, our kids and your kids. Chairperson said earlier on, and he said that, you know, we need to mix, we need to interbreed, you know, that's what he was basically saying. And he said it's a joke, you know, whatever thing, but it's not a joke, you know. So we've been doing this forever, you know, we're doing it forever. See how I look, see how you look, you know, we've interbred. So at some point when the Bantu groups came down to Southern Africa, they met with the Khoi and the San people there, and they interbred, and they came down together again. And so there we interbred. So why? It's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it. And I think this relationship, this partnership is going to take us exponentially forward to the next level. APC, Next level. Yeah. And so therefore, it is critical. It is critical for us to work together. I've mentioned to some of your comrades and your colleagues, and my colleagues now, and my comrades, we had a discussion. And we said, you know what, there's chaos theorists. There's a lot of doctors here and professors here, I think. And sometimes they don't even know that there are chaos theorists. And in terms of my own personal research that I've done, in terms of chaos and chaotic situations, I found that there are chaos theorists. And chaos theorists are the ones that create chaos. And when there's chaos, then they flourish. Because they cannot flourish when there's order, etc. And one simple thing that the chaos theorists do, xenophobic attacks. Because they want us to start killing each other. They're hoping that we can kill each other. And then they don't have to do anything. They just take the gold, they take the diamonds, they take the oil. Life is sharp for them, you know, and we die. We are there to kill one another. And so therefore we shouldn't fall in the trap of the chaos theorists. A simple thing, they tell us that the Nigerian economy, we found out that South Africa is no more the biggest economy on the African continent. And then we South Africans go, what rubbish is there? Yeah, the Nigerians, who the hell say they are the biggest economy? And you guys are saying, wow, walking around with a pat on your shoulder and things now, yeah, you are the biggest economy. In the meantime, we are fighting about that nonsense. And the chaos theorists that started the chaos are the ones that's taking the oil and the diamonds and the gold, and there they go and they invest and reinvest and they bring the armies in and they do a whole lot of things. And so therefore we shouldn't fall for that trap. I encourage you that I know we are going to form a partnership, and it is incumbent upon yourselves and ourselves for us to do this, so that we have a solid partnership in terms of the APC and in terms of the Nigerian peoples and the South African peoples, so that this is sustainable and everlasting. It shouldn't be a situation where it is ad hoc. It happens certain times. There's a whole lot to share. There's too much to share. You need us and we need you. Can you imagine if you control North Africa from the north to Central Africa, and we control from Southern Africa to Central Africa? I don't mean control, military control and whatever thing. I mean that the economies, etc. thing. And we pull those two economies together. We are then at the same level of America, we're the same level of China, we're the same level as India. It is therefore imperative and incumbent upon all of us to make this work, to ensure that we have an everlasting relationship, a bondage that will take us to the next level. APC? Next level? I think I will stop at that. Thank you so much.
Free trade agreement would have been a done deal by now. We do need each other, like he said. And I think where we still have challenges, still borders on education and orientation. The rivalry that seemingly exists, you will agree with me, borders on lack of information. I think that if the people are informed that we all need each other, I think we'll be able to find a common ground and utilize the law of comparative advantage and strengthen our bilateral relationship and get the best out of it. However, I want to appeal to Comrade Van Rijn to please continue to spread the gospel. I think what we need at this point in time is peace, and we need to also get our people informed. I will say that oftentimes we also have situations where we have a lot of misinformation which has triggered the violence that we see today. Even people come on videos and they say, oh, they're taking our wives, they're taking our women, they're taking our jobs. In the industry where I work in, as an instrumentation and control engineer. I think I can authoritatively say that our budget in South Africa, which houses about 55 employees, currently lies on income from Nigeria. And it will amaze you to know that that market I personally started developing as a business development manager in 2014. And today is sustaining the economy, and even the German head office is very keen about it. And we're looking into the rest of Africa as it stands. So if we say we do not need each other, I can tell you that we are still living in illusion. I travel from time to time, and Africa is the target of every developed world. I was privileged to be in the EU Africa High Level Forum in Vienna in December last year.
APC.
Next level.
APC.
Next level.
Next level.
APC.
Next level.
APC.
I thank you once again for honoring this our invitation. The next thing we are on is donation. You can see that this organization is APC South Africa, and I so much appreciate the chairman of APC South Africa, and I appreciate the organizing committee of this program, and I appreciate you that attended this program. May God bless you all. Now we are NGO organization. We need your help. We live on the goodwill of you people sitting down here. We need donations from you. We need donations from you, maybe in terms of pledges, or right now you can please donate for us, because we need your help. We need to progress. We need to do many things that is in line. Can someone just help me to take a train and go to each table to please have a donation for us for tonight? We will appreciate your donation or pledges. Thank you, and God bless you.
This is South Africa. I would like to just say a big thank you to all those who have honored the invitation by taking out the time to attend this August occasion. And as you all depart from this venue, I wish you all safe trips back to your houses and destinations. May God bless you. God bless Nigeria. God bless South Africa. God bless APC.
Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless you.